child dedicated to Saint Nicholas of Tolentino, who is the patron saint for babies. Saint Nicholas of Tolentino was a priest in 13th century Italy who is known for his miracles among the poor and neglected. His parents were childless until they visited a shrine of Saint Nicholas and asked for a son who would serve God. The couple received a boy and named him after the saint who had helped them conceive. As a child, Nicholas imitated hermits and would hide in the caves near his home and pray. As he matured, he heard God calling him to dedicate his life to prayer and reflection, and when he heard an Augustinian priest preaching one day, he resolved to join that order of priests. His first miracle happened when he placed his hand on the head of a sick boy and said, "The good God will heal you." The boy was instantly cured. A few years later he was ordained a priest and became famous for using the same words to heal a woman who was blind. He settled in a monastery in Tolentino and spent the rest of his life there preaching in the streets. Though the city was torn by civil discord, he raised people's attention to heaven. Many were moved to conversion upon hearing him. One man, however, was not moved. He was used to a wayward, evil life, and whenever he came upon Nicholas preaching in the streets, he would try to shout him down and disrupt the crowd's concentration. Nicholas refused to be intimidated. He was resolute and patient, and this steadfastness began to have an effect on the man's heart. One day, the man brought friends to fight with swords in the street near Nicholas as he preached, so as to cause people to scatter. Nicholas persisted, though, and the man put down his sword and began to listen. Afterward, he apologized to Nicholas and began to reform his life. Soon after this, Nicholas became a sought-after confessor and would sometimes spend the whole day hearing confessions. He also went into the slums of Tolentino to care for the poor and sick. Many stories of conversions and healings were attributed to his work. "Say nothing of this," Nicholas would say after an extraordinary event due to his intercession. "Give thanks to God, not to me. I am only an earthen vessel, a poor sinner." Nicholas spent the last year of his life suffering from an illness that killed him. He got up from his bed only once, to hear the confession of one who was burdened with a great sin but refused to speak to anyone but Nicholas. He died on this date in 1305 and his relics rest in the reliquary chapel in the basilica. Saint Nicholas is the patron saint of babies, those who work on the water, and those who are dying. He is reported to have resurrected over 100 dead children, including several who had drowned together. In Bolivia, it was reported that all children born to Spanish colonists there died in childbirth until a father dedicated his unborn child to Saint Nicholas of Tolentino. The colonist's son survived to healthy adulthood. Many parents followed the example of naming their sons Nicholas. Saint Nicholas of Tolentino, you were the monk who inspired conversions with miracles and preaching. Pray for us.